Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Breaking: Rudy Giuliani rushed to hospital for horrible reason. The former New York City mayor and Trump booster Rudy Giuliani was just rushed to emergency surgery after he fell this weekend. According to the New York Post, Giuliani told Page Six from his hospital bed, "I was a catcher from a very young age, and I have suffered with catcher's knee for years, and the doctors said it would deteriorate." Rudy Giuliani has been a Trump supporter since the beginning. He received quadriceps tendon surgery. "Then my knee gave way when I was walking on Sunday. I tried to get up but, my wife, Judith, ordered me not to move. If it hadn't been for her, the injury would have been a lot worse. I now call her Nurse Nancy. I swear to God, it was my first day of vacation and we'd planned to play a lot of golf. I don't think I will be playing golf for a few weeks. But I am already up and limping around. I'm a tough guy, so this isn't going to stop me." Giuliani fell down as he was hosting a barbecue for his friends at his Long Island home. Judith Giuliani told Page Six, "It is a good thing that I am a trained nurse, because when he fell I saw his leg had fallen in an unnatural way. Our guests wanted to pick him up, he's a tough guy and he wanted to get up, and I said he should not move. It was an instant red flag. When I looked at the limb, I knew if he got up it would just do more damage." Let's pray for the safety of America's great mayor. Share this if you are glad that Giuliani is safe and sound and in doctor's care. Heal quickly, Mr. Giuliani. Trump picks new comms director. The media is already afraid of her for this one reason. According to the Daily Caller, there are reports that Hope Hicks has accepted the position as White House Communications Director. The New York Times is reporting that Hicks will only be there in the meantime. Hope Hicks is an absolute stunner and is going to run the press department well during her tenure. She is also only 28 years old. She's great. Trump even gave her a special place in the White House. She was his Director of Strategic Communications. The White House has not made an official report on her hiring. Let's welcome Hope Hicks on board the Trump train. Hicks will be the youngest person in history to take the job. It was created under President Nixon in 1969. Hicks replaced Anthony Scaramucci, who only lasted 10 days. Hicks has a long history with the Trump family. Right after college, Hicks was working with a New York PR firm called Hicks Strategies, which Ivanka hired to work on her fashion line. Ivanka liked her so much that she offered an in-house position. In February 2016, Trump described working with Hicks to the New York Times. "She's got very good judgment. She will often give advice, and she'll do it in a very low-key manner, so it doesn't necessarily come in the form of advice. But it's delivered very nicely," he said. Hicks is going to help Trump draining the damn swamp in her new role. Share this everywhere to welcome Miss Hicks aboard the Trump train, you all. Make this go viral and say something nice about her below. Here it is. 30 years of Trump fighting racism that the media doesn't want you to see. Donald Trump has never been associated with racism until he began running for office. The truth is, our president has always fought against racism and continues to fight against it today. Here is the proof the mainstream media doesn't want you to know when it comes to Donald Trump and racism. 1986, Trump, Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali receive Ellis Island Award. As the New York Times reported on October 16, 1986, 80 Americans from 42 ethnic groups were named yesterday as recipients of the Ellis Island Medal of Honor by the Statue of Liberty Ellis Island Foundation. The medals will be presented to the recipients, all either naturalized or Native Americans, at a ceremony October 27 on Ellis Island. That is the day before the 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Statue of Liberty, the final event of the 1986 Liberty Centennial observances. The National Ethnic Coalition of Organizations presents the awards based on integrity, passion, gravitas, humanitarian and ethnic heritage. If Trump's a racist, why would he accept an award alongside civil rights pioneer Rosa Parks? 1991, Trump hates seeing what David Duke surging in politics represents. In an interview on Larry King Live on November 19, 1991, Trump said he hated seeing what the strong political support of white nationalist David Duke meant in Louisiana, which was suffering a deep depression at the time. King, did the David Duke thing bother you? 55% of the whites in Louisiana voted for him. Mr. Trump, I hate dash. King, 400 New Yorkers contributed. Mr. Trump, I hate seeing what it represents, but I guess it just shows there's a lot of hostility in this country. There's a tremendous amount of hostility in the United States. 1997, Anti-Defamation League praises Trump. On April 30, 1997, The Wall Street Journal reported on Trump's purchase of the famous Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, and how he opened up the club to Jews and African Americans, putting him at odds against rival clubs in Palm Beach. The culture clash began to approach a climax last fall, when Mr. Trump's lawyer sent members of the town council a copy of the film Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, a film that deals with upper-class racism. Mr. Trump then approached the town council about lifting the restrictions that had been placed on the club. He also asked some council members not to vote on the request because their membership in other clubs created a conflict of interest. Last December, after the council refused to lift the restrictions, Mr. Trump filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court in Palm Beach, alleging that the town was discriminating against Mar-a-Lago, in part because it is open to Jews and African Americans. The suit seeks $100 million in damages. 2000, Trump calls David Duke a bigot, a racist and a problem. During a NBC interview aired on February 14, 2000, Trump blasted Duke when explaining why he was leaving the Reform Party. Matt Lauer, when you say the party is self-destructing, what do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now? Mr. Trump, well, you've got David Duke just joined a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party. Buchanan's a disaster as we've, covered. Jesse's a terrific guy who just left the party. And he, it's unfortunate, but he just left the party. He's going to be doing his independence party from Minnesota. And he's a terrific guy and a terrific governor, and he's got a great future. And I've always said, Matt, that I would run if I thought I could win, and in order to win. 2008, Trump helps African American Jennifer Hudson after her family is murdered. Jennifer Hudson, a singer who rose to prominence after an appearance on American Idol, suffered an immense tragedy when 3 of her family members were murdered. In the aftermath, Trump offered to put up at the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago free of charge, as reported by NBC. They are safe, Trump told people on Monday night. She's a great girl and we're protecting them well. 2015, Trump doesn't want Duke's support. About 2 months into Trump's campaign for the White House, he publicly said he didn't want Duke's support. According to CBS, Trump was asked Wednesday about Duke's praise, and he distanced himself from the white supremacist. I don't need his endorsement, I certainly wouldn't want his endorsement, Trump said during an interview with Bloomberg News on Wednesday. I don't need anyone's endorsement. When he was asked whether he would flat out reject Duke's support, Trump replied, "Sure, I would if that would make you feel better." 2016, Trump disavows racist elements of so-called alt-right. Not long after winning the presidency, Trump disavowed the racist elements of what the mainstream media termed the alt-right. From CNN on November 23, 2016. I don't want to energize the group, and I disavow the group, Trump told a group of New York Times reporters and columnists during a meeting at the newspaper's headquarters in New York. It's not a group I want to energize, and if they are energized, "I want to look into it and find out why," he added, according to one of the Times reporters in the room, Michael Granboom. 2017 President Trump calls the KKK repugnant. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans, Trump said in response to the attacks in Charlottesville, Virginia, over the weekend. "Those who spread violence in the name of bigotry strike at the very core of America," Trump said. "These unjust attacks against our president need to stop, and it's up to us to share facts like these to expose the truth." HT Infowars. When Trump just declared victory over North Korea with this mighty act, Trump has once again proved that he is a leader and in charge. He knows how to handle a bully, unlike Obama, who obviously never met one in the schoolyard. To handle a bully, you can't back down, and Trump knows it. Earlier this week, North Korean President Kim Jong-un announced he had decided not to fire a missile at the U.S. territory of Guam, as he previously said he would. In true bully fashion, of course, he added that he could still change his mind. Why did this happen? Because of all the babying that past presidents, like Obama, had done with the maniacal threats of the North Korean leader? I think not, since he just kept increasing his nuclear capability and his threats toward us. No, he backed off because Trump didn't. He said that North Korea would face fire and fury if it continued to threaten the United States. The media cried and fainted. But Trump still held his course. And Kim Jong-un backed off. That's how you handle a bully. Do you think Trump is a great leader? Please share if you do, and comment "Thank you, Mr. President" so he sees it. H.T. The Hill. Justice. Right after Eric Holder criticized Trump, he never expected everyone to notice one glaring detail. Obama's Attorney General just had to put his 2 cents about the Charlottesville riots, and man oh man, did he regret it. These comments incensed those who remembered the 2009 attack on Fort Hood that left 13 dead. Holder called that shooting by Nidal Hasan an act of workplace violence. Hasan, for his part, later told a military mental health panel that the soldiers he killed were going against the Islamic Empire. And some reports have noted it took Obama 6 years to describe Fort Hood as a terror attack. Awkward. Eric Holder might be the very last person President Trump should ever take advice from on this matter. And as it turns out, he didn't even have to. President Trump, besides condemning many sides of the conflict on Saturday, emphasized his condemnation of white supremacists on Monday, saying, "Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans." Eric Holder just got the verbal thrashing of his life on Twitter. Maybe before criticizing the president, Holder can take a good long look in the mirror. Too bad that will probably never happen. HT Washington Times. Someone just vandalized the Lincoln Memorial. Look what sick thing they wrote. What is the world coming to? Earlier this morning in Washington, D.C., the Lincoln Memorial was vandalized. The historic site was tarnished with red spray paint, most of which was found on a pillar near the National Mall. Our National Park Service is currently trying to remove all of the graffiti found so far. Many have gone to Twitter, in hopes of figuring out who exactly could do such a terrible thing. Others have tried to figure out exactly what the phrase said before it was washed away. As of now, the 2 most popular theories suggest that the spray paint said either FCK law or FCK Islam. What do you think about all of this? How do you feel that one of our most cherished monuments has been treated so absolutely poorly? Let us know.